101. They don't negotiate. They don't forgive. They don't forget. The humans just end you. The voice of Ambassador Karenk trembled, his words echoing through the vast chamber of the Galactic Council. His scaled hands gripped the podium, the black insignia of his defeated empire hanging limp from his shoulder. Before him, representatives of hundreds of species, clad in ceremonial robes, bioharnesses, or Neuralink exosuits, watched in silence. Karenk's face twitched as his eyes flickered toward the human delegation at the far end of the hall. 3. Men in simple gray uniforms, no banners, no crests. Only the small insignia of Earth on their collars. 0P34. They came to us under a flag of truce, Karenk began, his voice low but seething with contempt. Promised talks of peace. And when our council convened to meet them, our leaders unarmed, our cities open, do you know what they did? The chamber hummed with unease, murmurs rippling through the rows of alien delegates. 1. They bombed our capital from orbit, Karenk spat, his tone rising. 8 million lives turned to ash before we could even raise shields. 8 million? For what? He paused, glaring at the humans. A single human freighter destroyed in a border skirmish? A mere misunderstanding? 1.22. One of the human delegates, the oldest among them, leaned forward. His face, lined and weathered, betrayed no emotion. Karenk flinched under the man's unwavering gaze. They call it proportional, Karenk hissed, his scales rippling with agitation. Proportional? They slaughtered millions for dozens of their own. What kind of species responds with such precision? The human spoke then, his voice calm but cutting through the tension like a blade. 152. Ambassador Karenk has done an admirable job of summarizing our doctrine, the human said, stepping forward, his gaze never leaving the ambassador. Allow me to clarify further. Karenk froze. His anger choked him, but he found his voice again. Clarify? You're here to gloat over genocide? The human turned his head slightly, locking eyes with Karenk. The look made the ambassador's chest tighten. Call it what you want, the human said, his voice unwavering. But let me explain something to you, and to this council, Ambassador. His tone held weight, pressing down on everyone in the room. 233. When you attacked one of our freighters, the human began, his gaze sweeping over the assembly, you didn't just kill humans. You murdered fathers, brothers, sons, families, and humans don't take kindly to that. Karenk let out a harsh laugh. So you exterminated our people, destroyed fleets, annihilated colonies, because you were angry. The human's expression didn't change. No, he said simply, because we could. The silence that followed was suffocating. 313. Karenk's teeth clicked nervously. He opened his mouth to reply, but the human raised a hand, silencing him. You see, the human continued, our history is written in blood. For thousands of years we fought ourselves, wars over land, ideology, resources. Do you know what that does to a species? The council watched, some in horror, others in fascination, as the human gestured toward the starscape displayed on the chamber ceiling. It makes you efficient, the human said, his voice hardening. When survival is your only goal, mercy becomes a luxury. So when you killed our people, you didn't just declare war on a nation, you woke a species bred for conflict, and we don't stop until the threat is gone? 4. Karenk's claws dug into the podium, his voice a whisper. You're monsters. The human's lips curled into a faint smile. We're survivors, he said softly, and when you come after us, we make sure you don't get another chance. Karenk's mind reeled. Memories of his shattered empire flooded back. He had been there when the first human fleets arrived, sleek, angular ships that moved like predators. His people's defenses, hailed as impenetrable, fell within hours. Their fleets, designed for intimidation, were torn apart by human vessels, and then the ground invasions began. You burned our 001. They don't negotiate. They don't forgive. They don't forget. The humans just end you. Ambassador Carrank's voice broke, his anger barely contained as he addressed the council. His once great empire had been shattered, reduced to scattered survivors. 030. They bombed our capital from orbit, Carrank spat. 8 million lives erased in an instant. The humans, 3 in simple gray uniforms, sat silently, their calmness infuriating. 1. A human delegate, unfazed, stood. Ambassador Carrank has summarized our doctrine well, he said coldly. Allow me to clarify. Carrank's frustration mounted. You slaughtered millions for a single freighter. The human's eyes met his. We respond with precision, not out of anger, out of necessity. 145. You fight wars to make sure they never happen again, Carrank sneered. That's not survival. It's tyranny. The human stepped closer. Survival isn't about mercy. It's about ensuring there's no threat left to face. 230. Carrank's vision blurred with rage, but he couldn't find his words. The human turned. To the council, harm our people, and you'll pay the price. 3. Carrank struggled, realizing the humans didn't need allies. They didn't need justification. They had already won. 345. Another human, Captain Vance, rose. I was there when this began, he said. It wasn't a skirmish. It was an execution. Carrank's chest tightened. You broadcasted the deaths of our people, Vance continued. You sent a message. This is what happens when humans are pushed. 430. Vance leaned in. You underestimated us. Carrank's anger boiled over. You destroyed our fleets, our worlds. We don't fight to win, Vance responded. We fight to ensure the conflict never happens again. 5. The council watched in stunned silence as the weight of the human's words sank in. We don't seek conquest, Vance said. We seek peace, but we'll end any threat to it. 6. Carrank's claws dug into the podium. You're monsters. Vance's eyes narrowed. No, we're survivors, and when you attack us, we make sure you never get the chance again. 7. Carrank rose, desperate to sway the council, but another voice cut him off. Ambassador Roth. Your empire enslaved species, stripped worlds, and expanded through intimidation. You thought we'd be easy prey. Carrank faltered. We were building a future, he growled. On the backs of the weak, Roth shot back. You thought we'd be like you, negotiating, playing by your rules, but we don't negotiate when our people are targeted. 8. Carrank trembled with rage as Roth continued. When you enslaved the Brethani, did they deserve to be slaughtered for resisting? Carrank's mind raced for a reply. Roth's final words echoed. We don't start wars, but we finish them. 9. The Ithral ambassador rose, proposing a new protocol to avoid future conflicts. But Carrank knew it was futile. The humans didn't need diplomacy. They didn't need allies. They had already won. Roth nodded. Our priority is the safety of our people. If that means breaking protocol, so be it. 10 Carrank's heart sank. The humans had reduced his empire to ashes, and now they stood unbowed, dictating terms. He realized with bitter clarity, the humans were the galaxy's apex species, and nothing could change that.